Welcome to Hitman Boxing. We are the A-Side boxing community. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Let's talk boxing. Let's talk Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz. Deontay Wilder won that fight by 10th round knockout. But sometimes you have to look back at the fight and wonder why certain things happened. Let's talk about the 8th round. In fact, before we talk about the 8th round, let's talk about what happened in the 7th round. Because this is the round where Luis Ortiz caught Deontay Wilder with, I believe, was a check right hook. Now, this punch staggered Wilder. After this, Luis Ortiz began to tee off on Wilder. He was landing some heavy shots. Wilder was hanging on for dear life, clinching hard, right? He was almost out. He was almost out on his feet. A lot of people say that he could have got a standing 8 count for this, right? I would have been cool with that. But, in terms of how the round was scored, I think 10-8 was appropriate. At least in my eyes. Because Deontay Wilder, he almost got stopped in that round, man. But he's the champion. You have to give the champion respect and give him the benefit of the doubt. So he was allowed to continue into the 8th round. Now, when they went to the corner, right before the 8th round started, I noticed that both guys were out of it, just gassed. Deontay Wilder a lot more because he was taking some very heavy shots. Luis Ortiz was gassed from throwing the shots. They were rubbing him down. He breathing heavy. His corner was very excited because they expected him to go in the 8th round and pick up right where he left off to finish Deontay Wilder off. Because that's what I was thinking. I was amazed at the fact that Deontay Wilder was able to stand up against that onslaught and not get knocked down. I was thinking maybe he should have took a knee. But like a true warrior, he stood and was able to get through that round. Like a real champion, right? But again, something really weird happened at the start of the 8th round. Before the beginning of the 8th round, the referee signaled to the doctor to have him checked out. But Deontay Wilder didn't have any cuts on his face at all. Why wasn't the referee more observant? I didn't see anyone get cut on the face in this fight at all. But somehow Deontay Wilder gets an opportunity to get checked out by this doctor. And when he was standing up in the corner, he was out of it, man. He was done. He was out on his feet. It was only a matter of time before Luis Ortiz was going to finish the job off. However, Deontay Wilder was allowed some additional time with the doctor to get checked out. And in this additional time, he was able to recover a little bit more. Now, that's not to say that Luis Ortiz shouldn't have done what he was supposed to do. He should have went in there aggressively and just threw everything at this guy to get him out of there. But why did the doctor check Wilder out? Now, we know boxing is a business, right? It's not about what the fans want. The fans may want a certain fight, but if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. This is why Deontay Wilder is criticized for his opponent choices, right? Regardless of if he's supposed to fight this fighter or that fighter and they pop dirty, it doesn't matter. The end result is he didn't fight that fighter. He didn't get the rub, excuse me, from beating that fighter. I'm just trying to be logical here right now, man. I'm cool right now. I'm keeping it cool. We're not talking reckless about Wilder. We're just pointing out some things we saw over the weekend. That's all I'm saying. Wilder won the fight, but I'm just pointing some things out for you to think about. That's all I'm doing. Because if it were, Anthony Joshua, if that was Anthony Joshua in there, people would be saying, and this is majority Wilder fans, they would have been upset about that doctor coming out, checking him out, and not when he didn't have a cut on his face, right? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I need to pull up a rule book, but we don't got time for that. We make videos on the fly here over at Hitman Boxing. And remember, we are the A side. And this is A side boxing talk. But anyway, back to the point I was making. Boxing is a business. Now, in the grand scheme of things, would it have been good for business if Luis Ortiz beat Deontay Wilder? Would that have been good for business? Do we want to see Luis Ortiz versus Anthony Joshua? Is that the apex fight of the heavyweight division? Is that the fight that everyone wants to see? No, it's not. Now, I'm not saying Deontay Wilder is protected, but I'm saying Deontay Wilder might be protected. And the same could go for Anthony Joshua. We'll have to see how he fares against Joseph Parker on March 31st, but I have a feeling that he will get past Joseph Parker. I feel like he will knock out Joseph Parker. But Wilder, again, boxing is a business. Who stands to benefit in an Ortiz win? Nobody. Ortiz versus AJ, that can't be billed as the fight of the century like Wilder and Joshua can. You see, Deontay Wilder's ratings are on, they're on the rise. He didn't sell out the Barclays Center. Regardless, they had a very nice showing, and I'm sure he's going to continue to grow his star power, which is all we asked for in the beginning. You know, you're not just going to become a star beating a bunch of nobodies. Luis Ortiz was that first step. Now, Deontay Wilder, and another thing about this fight, the scorecards. I've said it many times. Deontay Wilder was up on the scorecards at the time of the stoppage. That's BS. I don't see how he could have been up when he was getting outboxed for most of the fight. Yes, he knocked Luis Ortiz down in the 5th, I believe. But come on. Up until that point, Luis Ortiz was outboxing Deontay Wilder. We give Deontay Wilder full credit for winning this fight. I'm just saying sometimes we all need a little help, right? I need someone to explain that whole doctor situation for me. You know, maybe it has something to do with, you know, certain fighters passing away after fights. You know, the brutality of the sport. I don't know. The New York State Athletic Commission, I don't know. But I don't see a reason for the doctor coming out to check Deontay Wilder. You know, when it happened, I was just like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just in shock. But we're just talking about the 8th round. Again, Luis Ortiz, regardless of the outcome of the fight, Luis Ortiz had a chance to achieve greatness and beat Deontay Wilder. Instead, Deontay Wilder got a chance to prove his haters alike, myself included, that he is an elite level fighter. And the next fight that needs to be made, and this was the plan all along, the Wilder and AJ fight. That's the fight that's going to get made sooner rather than later. There's a lot at stake in that fight. A lot of money to be made. But Ortiz had to go. Hitman Boxing. Oh, also, Luis Ortiz has said that he wants a rematch because of what transpired in the 8th round. Because of that weird thing with the doctor and the referee. The rabbit punching. He wants a rematch. He says if Wilder can't get AJ, then he wants that rematch. And I'm not sure how I feel about watching a rematch. I'm not huge on rematches, man. Y'all have to let me know what you think about it. But I think the next fight that needs to be made is Wilder versus AJ. You know, I'm cool with maybe these guys getting one more fight interim, but at the very least, we need that fight at the end of the year. Because we got to find out who the top dog is, man. You know, before these other guys start climbing the ladder. So let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all thought about that 8th round, Wilder Ortiz. Hitman Boxing. We are the A-Side Boxing Community. I'm out.